It's Victory Day in Russia. Moscow marks it every year on May 9th. It celebrates Russia's victory over Nazi Germany. Now, Victory Day has a cult status in Moscow. Every year, there are military parades, patriotic pageantry, pomp, pride, and of course, a speech by Vladimir Putin.
Today, we see attempts to distort the truth about World War II. It is inconvenient to those who are accustomed to building their essentially colonial policy on hypocrisy and lies. Russia will do everything to prevent a global conflict. But at the same time, we will not allow anyone to threaten us. Our strategic forces are always in combat readiness.
With these words, Putin flexed his military muscle, showcased his latest weapons, and shot off another warning to the West. The last time Russia fought European powers, it won. That's why Victory Day is celebrated, to mark their win in the Second World War. In 1941, troops from Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union. Entire cities were plundered. Some 27 million people lost their lives. Virtually every family in Russia was affected, including Putin's family. But the Soviet army, or the Red Army as they were called, pushed back. They drove the Nazis all the way back to Berlin. That's where the Nazis surrendered. It ended the Second World War in Europe. For Russia, the day is a powerful symbol of its military prowess, of its righteousness, of its national identity. And Putin has made it a pillar of his rule. Since 1999, he's ramped up the celebrations. He brought back displays of military might. Tanks and missiles now roll across the Red Square. Fighter jets fly overhead. Every year, he lays a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Accompanying him are veterans. This year's celebrations come as Putin begins his 5th term in power. He was joined by dignitaries, presidents of former Soviet nations, allies including leaders of Cuba, Guinea-Bissau and Laos. So why is it such a big deal for Putin? Because it serves his core belief that Russia is great and invincible. Putin draws power from nostalgia. He wants to revive the clout of the erstwhile Soviet Union. And what better occasion than Victory Day? Take the Ukraine war, for example. When Russia invaded, Putin immediately drew parallels. He cited denazification of Ukraine as a primary goal. He said Ukrainian leaders had cooperated with the Nazis. He compared this war to the Great Patriotic War. And 800 days later, he continues to do that.
We celebrate Victory Day in the context of the special military operation. All its participants, those who are on the front line, on the line of combat contact, are our heroes. We bow to your perseverance, self-sacrifice, and dedication. All of Russia is with you.
So Putin is thanking Russian soldiers, and he does have a lot to thank them for. In the last few months, Russia has made several gains in the battlefield. They may be modest, but they're gains nonetheless. On Tuesday, Russia launched over 70 missiles and drones. They struck power stations and energy facilities in Ukraine. Kiev and 6 other cities were affected. 9 regions plunged into darkness. It was one of the biggest attacks in weeks. The aim was simple: to cut Ukraine off the power grid. So what explains this ramped up offensive? Right now, for Moscow, time is of the essence. It is looking to occupy as much territory as possible before Ukraine receives Western aid. So Russia has mobilized more troops. It is fighting to capture more towns. For the last few weeks, it's been trying to capture Chasiv Yar, a strategic town in Donetsk. Moscow hoped it would fall by today, May 9th. That would make it a sweet Victory Day win for them. But the town is still standing. So Russia hopes to change that in the next few days. Ukraine, on the other hand, is on the defensive. It has run out of ammunition. Its soldiers are exhausted. Its front lines are faltering. Ukraine desperately needs the Western aid. So Moscow is trying to capitalize on that. As it marks the 79th Victory Day celebrations, Russia has its eyes set on another victory in Ukraine.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. is at the end of the road for the African National Congress, and will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback? From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.